Haunted? Nah, it's just an old house. Michael tried to sound brave, but his voice shook a little. It was Halloween night. The air crackled with mischief and the sweet scent of candy. Michael and his friends, Sarah, Emily and Ben, stood before the infamous house on Harbinger Lane. "Dare you to knock?" Emily challenged, her eyes twinkling with mischief. A low rumble of thunder echoed their nervous laughter. Michael, never one to back down from a dare, took a deep breath and stepped towards the house, his heart hammered against his ribs. Harbinger Lane. Even the name sounded spooky. The house loomed over them, its shadow swallowing them whole. The paint peeled off the walls like scabs. Boarded-up windows stared back like vacant eyes. The rusted gate creaked open with a groan as if warning them. "Are you sure about this?" Sarah whispered, her voice tight with apprehension. Ben, usually the quiet one, just nodded, his eyes wide with a mixture of fear and excitement. Michael took a deep breath. "Let's do it," his voice sounded thin in the stillness. They crossed the threshold, leaving the normalcy of the night behind. The air inside felt heavy, thick with the smell of dust and decay. Each footstep echoed in the oppressive silence, amplified by their pounding hearts. A sudden creak from upstairs made them jump. Sarah gasped, shining her flashlight towards the sound. Only cobwebs and shadows greeted them. "Did you hear that?" Emily whispered, her eyes wide with fear. A cold draught swept through the house, chilling them to the bone. Ben shivered, pulling his jacket tighter. "Feels like someone's watching us." They pressed on, their fear a tangible presence in the musty air. Section 4. The Attic's Secret. The attic stairs groaned in protest as they climbed. Dust motes danced in the single beam of light filtering through a crack in the wall. A musty, cedar-lined trunk sat in the middle of the room. Curiosity overriding their fear, they huddled around it. Inside, yellowed lace and velvet lay nestled against a tarnished silver hairbrush. And then they saw it. A photograph. A young woman with haunted eyes stared back at them, a melancholic smile gracing her lips. "Who is she?" whispered Emily, her finger tracing the outline of the woman's face. Section 5. The Ghostly Encounter. A whisper, faint and ethereal, sent chills down their spines. It seemed to come from the shadows swirling around them like the dust motes. "Get out!" The air grew heavy, pressing down on them with an unseen force. The floorboards groaned and the single light source flickered, plunging them into darkness. Panic seized them. They scrambled to their feet, bumping into each other in their haste to escape. The attic door slammed shut with a resounding boom, trapping them. "Let us out!" Michael yelled, banging on the door. But the only response was the sound of their own terrified breathing and the icy whisper that followed them. Section 6. The Unseen Guest. They finally broke free, tumbling out into the cool night air. Gasping for breath, they didn't stop running until they reached the safety of the streetlight's glow. Looking back at the house, shrouded in darkness and secrets, they knew they had experienced something truly unsettling. The next day, Michael found a faded news clipping about the house. It told the story of a young woman who had mysteriously disappeared from that very house, never to be seen again. He stared at the photo accompanying the article. The woman in the picture bore a striking resemblance to the one in the attic, and her eyes seemed to hold a knowing glint as if she were watching him. Still,